An Alabama radio station is in disbelief after their radio tower was stolen. Climbers on Mount Everest will now be required to bring back their poop. And a baggage handler lost their job after a passenger found an obscenity written on their bag. These are the weird stories for Thursday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast on planet Earth. A radio station is in disbelief after their 200-foot radio tower was stolen. I can't even get this sentence out of my mouth. Let's try that again. Boop! A radio station is in major disbelief after their 200-foot radio tower was taken. Ha! Nailed it, guys. Only took me 2 takes. You got a professional here. That's why I'm in a closet. A radio station in Alabama was forced to go silent after thieves stole the Alabama radio station's 200-foot radio tower and other equipment. Wow, 200-foot radio tower. I guess people were upset by what was on the radio, maybe? Did someone let a gay person co-host the morning show over there? I'm not going to listen to them gay people's talking on my radios when I'm driving my trucks to the docks. I don't want to listen to the opinions of no gay persons. I'm taking that radio station down. We have the radio station WJLX. WJLX. They sent a landscaping crew to the site last week for some spring cleaning, only to find the 200-foot radio tower was completely gone. A crew member from the landscaping crew called the station's general manager to break the news, and the general manager was in disbelief. The general manager had no idea the radio tower was gone. How long was this tower gone, bro? You had no idea it was gone? You just been making radio and you didn't know that no one was getting your signal? You didn't get a call from anybody. Like, hey, man, I'm trying to listen to your station. You know, I really love that morning show you guys do. Those jokes are amazing. You do that weird news. I really love it. Where you get those stories, man? Anyways, guys, all I'm getting is shh. I'm getting that static, you know, the shh. Come on, I'm getting snowflakes. Shh. There's a quote here from the general manager. What do you mean the tower is gone? Bro, how did you not know the tower's gone? That means the tower could have been gone anytime between this last spring cleaning and the other spring cleaning, and you guys have no idea. No idea. Wow, they're running a tight ship over there at WJLX in Alabama. Says the guy said he got a call from the landscaping crew saying the tower's gone and there's wires all over the ground. Not only was the radio tower stolen, but a nearby building was also vandalized. This guy says, the thieves stole every piece of equipment from that building, including the transmitter. Not the transmitter, man. How are we going to transmit without a transmitter? I just picture some meth heads stealing this thing. Just like, how many stations did you say this gets again? Oh, I'm going to put it right in my backyard. I'm going to get the best signal around. Well, apparently they got the mayor involved as well. They had a big meeting between the owner and the mayor, investigators. They say at this point they are still lacking information, and they're going to conduct a full-fledged investigation. I would check your local scrapyard because I assume they're going to sell this metal. I don't know how much you make money off this. Or maybe someone's bringing it home and making the coolest jungle gym for their children ever assembled. That could be a possibility as well. And then maybe check your local drug dealers. Can you trade a radio tower for meth? I'm pretty sure you can. I tell you, these Alabamans, they got Florida man inclinations for sure. What are they going to steal next? The North Sea? I mean, come on here. Alabamans can't be stopped. They'll do anything if it's an excuse to yell, "Roll Tide!" Climbers on Mount Everest will now have to bring their poop back to base camp. People climbing Mount Everest, please note you will now have to clear up your own poop and bring it back to base camp to be disposed of according to the authorities on the mountain. We have a quote from Mingma Sherpa, the chairman of the municipality. Our mountains have begun to stink like poo. The municipality that this guy's the chairman of covers most of the Everest region and had to introduce this new rule as part of a wider measure to control the excrement that's been left on Mount Everest, because apparently due to extreme temperatures, the poop does not fully degrade. Here's another quote from this guy. We are getting complaints that human stools are visible on rocks, and some climbers are falling sick. This is not acceptable, and it erodes our image. Yeah, what about the dead bodies that are also visible on the rocks? I mean, you think little frozen poopsicles are making the climbers sick? I've seen videos and pictures of Mount Everest. There's dead bodies all over the place. That doesn't make the climbers ill? You should require each climber to drag down a corpse as well as bring their poop down. Clean that top of that mountain up. It's disgusting from what I've seen. It's a giant trash heap covered with bodies. Ridiculous. Now, what's their solution for this? Climbers attempting Mount Everest, the world's tallest peak, will be ordered to buy so-called poo bags at base camp, which will be checked upon their return. How'd you like to be the guy employed at the poop check-on station? I'm going to check your poop. Can I check your poop? They're not paying that guy enough, I'll tell you right now. This guy's just handling pounds and pounds of frozen poop. So you have to buy a poop bag. Ah, man, I was hoping I could just poop in a Pringles can and then bring that down. You can't do that? Can't you keep it in your fanny pack? Hey, you know, there's a workaround to this. Just eat a bunch of cheese before you get to the top. That'll back you up, and you won't have to bring down poop bags. You save some money on poop bags. I'll tell you right now, here's a business idea. Just set up an adult diaper kiosk right there at the base camp. Everybody be buying diapers. It's a good business. You're welcome. There, go make $1 million. Yeah, don't say I never gave you anything. Now, this next section of the article that I'm reading says, where do you poo on the mountain? Let's learn about that. During climbing season, mountaineers spend most of their time at base camp acclimatizing to the altitude, where separate tents are erected as toilets with barrels underneath collecting the excrement. But once they begin their treacherous journey, things get more difficult. Most climbers and support staff tend to dig a hole to do their excrement, but the higher you go up the mountain, some locations have less snow, so you have to go to the toilet right out in the open. Very few people bring their excrement back in biodegradable bags when climbing Mount Everest's summit, which can take weeks, as you know. Rubbish remains a huge issue on Everest and other mountains in the region, although there has been an increasing number of cleanup campaigns, including an annual cleanup campaign led by the Nepali army. How'd you like to be a member of that army? Yeah, I joined the army to fight the enemy and fight for freedom and, Yeah, shut up. Would you just pick up this poop, man? Hurry up. Says here, waste remains a major issue, especially in higher camps where you can't reach. Although no official figure exists, they estimate that there are around 3 tons of human poop between Camp 1 at the bottom of Everest and Camp 4 towards the summit of Everest. It says here, on average, a climber is thought to produce 250 grams of excrement per day. I just want to say I apologize for the number of times I've said excrement in this story. It's quite disgusting, I agree, if you want to skip the rest of this, but I do have a couple jokes in here waiting for you. I think. We'll see how it goes. Climbers usually spend about 2 weeks on the higher camps for the summit attempt. Now, this individual who's organizing the poop bags says, with this as a basis, we plan to give the climbers 2 bags, each of which they can use 5 to 6 times. It is certainly a positive thing. We will be happy to play our part to make this successful. You know, taking out your poop is pretty normal. I believe on Mount Whitney, you got to bring back your poop. If you're going into the Grand Canyon, some of those treks, you have to bring out your own poop. This could open up a new job, though, a poop Sherpa. You know, an individual that you could just bring up to Mount Everest with you. The poop Sherpa will take all of your delightful dookie movements down for you. Just pocket full of poopsicles for you. You won't have to do that. And by the way, while we're at it, let's talk about how dumb it is to climb this mountain. I don't understand why people do this. It's like $80,000 plus to climb this mountain. It's just got to be one of the dumbest feats on earth. You wait in line for hours just to spend a couple seconds on the peak, take your selfie and get down. You know, it's expensive. You have to carry frozen poop in your pocket. There's frozen corpses everywhere, and if you collapse, they just leave you to die because it's too much to carry a body down. You're just like, you know, sorry, buddy, got to leave you behind. I mean, I don't know why people do this. Why climb Mount Everest? Dude, because it's there, bro. That's why. But what about the bodies, man? The bodies. Do you have any plan for the bodies? Yeah. Are you okay? Hey, do you want to create a podcast? Well, Spotify's platform lets you easily make, record, distribute a podcast everywhere and even earn money. And it's all in one place. And it's free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. You can record, edit on your phone or your computer, send it to Spotify and everywhere podcasts are heard. They even have video podcasting options as well. Spotify for Podcasters allows you to earn money with ads and subscriptions too. Best of all, it's free. Try it. Download Spotify for Podcasters or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your life, man. Yay! A baggage handler at the airport lost their job after a passenger found an obscenity written on their luggage. An obscenity, I wonder what it is. A baggage handler will no longer work for the Australian airline Qantas. Qantas. Q-A-N-T-A-S. I don't know what to do with a Q word that doesn't have a U after the Q, guys. I've never seen this before. You got to have a U after the Q, otherwise it doesn't work. That's why when you're playing Scrabble, if you have a Q, you can't use it without a U. You're stuck with it. Everybody knows that. I'm just going to call it Qantas, which I find to be an offensive word. This word is offensive, Qantas. Put a U there. Make it less offensive for the rest of us that record podcasts about your company. Okay, so someone is no longer going to be a bag handler, probably doing them a favor in life. After this offensive word was found on a passenger's bag, Sonny Tilbury was flying with Qantas from Perth to the small city of Karatha, which is about 800 miles north. When he retrieved his luggage, he found the word... this is a bad word. I can't say it. I can't say it on Weird AF News. I can't. It's the C word. You guys know the C word. And that's a pretty bad word. Although in Australia, not so bad. They seem to use it as a term of endearment, you know, the C word. They're like, oh, I love that C word. We went out drinking, me and that C word last week. Oh, that C word, he's a good fella. He's a nice C word. I love that C word. They do that in the UK too, right? It's like, oh, he's a good C word, isn't he? I'm going to get together with all my C words for my birthday. Anyways, this guy, Sonny, who was flying on Qantas, took a photo of it, shared it on Instagram, and wrote, clearly the baggage handler at Perth Airport wasn't very happy lifting my heavy bag. He left me a nice note to read upon arrival. Now it says here the offensive word was written on a label that identified Sonny's bag as heavy and, quote, assisted lift may be required. This bag weighed at 31 kg, also known as 68 pounds. Pretty heavy, but I don't know. There's heavy bags out there. I've seen people bring extremely large items through airports. And, I mean, if you're a baggage handler, it's sort of part of the job description to lift heavy things. I lift up heavy things and I put them down. I lift them up, I put them down. Heavy things. I mean, imagine if you were a mover, you know, like a house or apartment mover. You know, you get a heavy bureau. You don't then write something horrible on it, on the bureau after you deliver it. I mean, you're paid to lift heavy things, it would seem. I don't know. Anyways, we got a statement from Qantas. They say, this is clearly unacceptable behavior. Our ground handling provider at Perth Airport has assured us that the baggage handler involved will never work on Qantas Group aircraft ever again. We sincerely apologize. I can't even get this phrase out. We sincerely apologize to Mr. Tilbury. Mr. Tilbury, we're sure he's a good C word. He don't need to be treated like this. In fact, we're going to take Mr. C word out for a beer. He's a good C word. They're giving him a voucher. They're going to give him a voucher. They always give a voucher to people. You get a travel voucher. No matter what happens to you from the airline, no matter how angry you are, they want to solve the problem with a travel voucher. Yeah, but a dingo ate my baby at your airport. No worries. We'll give you a travel voucher for your baby. Oh, be a good C. Take the travel voucher. Perth is nice this time of year. Don't you want to go surfing? Yay! Well, hello, my loyal listeners. Thanks for spending some time with me in the Weird AF News podcast. I appreciate you. I want to apologize for yesterday's episode. The sound quality was not great because I had technical issues. My microphone just died in the middle of the recording there. And I didn't have a spare on hand, so I just had to push through using the microphone on my smartphone. And then I tried to clean it up in post using this editing program that beefs up the sound and cleans it up. And then, it was a little bit better, but not great. Anyways, I apologize for that. I got the microphone, another microphone today. Here we go. What else? If you want to call the show, it's 646-450-2012. I'm going to publish a few voicemails after this from some loyal and lovely listeners. I got a great email from someone named Al who lives far away. He wrote, "Hey, man, I stumbled across your podcast last year and I've been listening ever since. I live in the bush in Newfoundland, just me and my dog because society is half retarded. This island is basically the Florida of Canada, but nobody lives here. I got a few good Newfie stories stashed away someplace for you. Reading it with an angry Irish accent would be the closest to a Newfoundland accent as you can get, Jonesy. I'm so poor." No, I'm not going to read this next. It's a very funny line, but I can't read that. He goes, "When I find some money, I'll buy you a coffee, Jonesy. This crazy mofo in the North Atlantic Ocean loves your work, dude. Thank you." So we have a guy living in the bush in Newfoundland. I never thought in a million years I'd have somebody in the bush in Newfoundland. First of all, I didn't know that there was a bush in Newfoundland. I don't know anything about Newfoundland, or I guess you call them Newfies. But I'm grateful that I have this guy, Al, that listens all the way. Can you just picture this guy living in the middle of nowhere with his dog? Wow, it's just fantastic. I just love that. So anyways, I'm so happy that this guy's listening and sent me a message. So pretty cool to imagine that people in the middle of nowhere are listening to Weird AF News. Who would have thought? Anyways, shout out to Al. Stay warm, buddy, you and your dog. Please write me again. Actually, I'd love to see some pictures of where you're living. If you could snap some pics, Al, and email me. I want to know what it looks like up there. I've never been up there. But it must be, can you imagine the landscape? Wow, it's got to be wild. This guy probably lives in a shack that he built with his bare hands, just him and his dog. It's pretty cool, right? Perhaps a lean-to? Do you live in a lean-to? I love to watch YouTube videos of people building these domiciles, these very primitive domiciles out in the bush. I think they're fascinating what people used. People are very inventive and creative. It's amazing to me. And we're going to need these people at some point because there's going to be Armageddon, and I don't know how to build a lean-to in the forest, so I'm going to need Al to help me out. Al, when the crap hits the fan, I'm going to go live with you, buddy, you and your dog. I hope you don't mind. Anyways, if you want to email me, it's funnyjones@gmail.com. I especially love to hear emails from people like this, from very far away places. Pretty cool. Also, if you want to send me stories, specifically Florida stories from this week, because tomorrow's Florida Friday. As you know, I do an episode only on weird Florida news from this week. So send me any Florida stories. funnyjones@gmail.com. You can slide them into my DMs on Instagram as well, @funnyjones, and we'll try to do the best Florida Friday episode that we can tomorrow. So, yeah. All right. Did I leave the phone number? Let me do it again. 646-450-2012. If you guys want to support the show, please do so by going to weirdafnews.com, where you can buy Jonesy a coffee or join the Patreon. Just click on the coffee cup or the Patreon banner, and that's a way to support the show. Or just listen and tell a friend. I appreciate you, and good luck with your life, man.
Hey, Jonesy, this is Becca from New Braunfels, Texas. About the tomatoes, I don't think you shared too much at all. I loved hearing about your great-grandmother, the way the tone of your voice changed as you were reminiscing. I could feel the warmth and affection that you felt for her and how you value those memories. I really appreciated you sharing that. I didn't think you were rambling or oversharing at all. Thanks. Bye.
Little Johnny, what are you doing? Why are you crushing up those combos, Johnny? Oh, Johnny. wrong? Oh, they don't have real cheese in them? Is that why you're complaining? Well, Johnny, I did try filing a lawsuit, but we lost. And I was gonna use the money from the lawsuit to remodel the adult baby center, but that's not gonna happen because we lost. Now I have combos in my hair, and I'm gonna have to go to the hair
Hey, Jonesy, it's Smokey calling, man. I heard your podcast about loneliness. There was like some county in California that declared a state of emergency over loneliness. And man, if you're depressed, that's nothing to be ashamed of, man. I take an antidepressant myself along with, smoking some herb. That keeps me from being depressed too. But I mean, if you're depressed, man, don't be afraid to talk about that with other people. And you can call the Suicide Prevention Helpline at 988 if you need to talk with someone about things, man. You can talk or text or chat. But anyway, you said call in if you wanted to sing you a song about loneliness. And so I thought, man, there's so many songs out there. Like, there's the motels that sing, it's like I told you, only the lonely can play. Only the lonely can play. And then there's like Roy Orbison, only the lonely. And like way back in the 50s, man, an older oldie is like Eddie Holman. He sang, hey there, lonely girl. And if you go back to the early Bee Gees song, man, they had a song too. It was like, lonely days, lonely nights, where would I be without my woman? Man, I tell you, everyone's got a song about loneliness. Remember the group Yes? Owner of a lonely heart, owner of a lonely heart, owner of a broken heart, owner of a lonely heart. And remember Little River Band? Have you heard about the lonesome loser? He's a loser, but he still keeps on trying. And Journey, they had a song, when you're feeling love's unfair, you just ask the lonely, ask the lonely. And even Steve Perry, man, solo, he had, like every tree stands on its own, reaching for the sky, I stand alone, I share my world with no one else, all by myself, I stand alone. And then there's probably like the greatest alone song of all time from Heart, all alone, all alone.